Hi, everybody. This is the report for the June board meeting 2014. And yes, a little bit different. Um, I will not be at the June board meeting because my sabbatical starts, well, it probably starts officially tomorrow. But I wanted to make sure that you guys had this report. I will be hiding away, trying to transition between the insanity of work and trying to get into writing mode. So, but I'll share a little bit about that later. There's three big things that I wanted to share with you guys. There's been lots going on, as there always is, but there's three big things that I wanted to share with you guys. The first, the most exciting, is that Candace Grimm will be joining us, and actually the Monday of our board meeting is going to be her first day. Candace is going to be joining us as the operations coordinator here, our first paid staff person and support person and infrastructure person, and we are just delighted we've already been spending some time with her, and we're just delighted to have her on board. So Candace, thank you. Welcome. You guys will get to know Candace immediately, and we'll all be working together, so that's pretty cool. The second thing that I wanted to talk with you guys about was the panel conference. The last board meeting, we had sort of just gotten back, and in the whirlwind of everything, we basically said everything was great, and that's about all that we could do. But I wanted to share with you some of the details about the panel conference, because we're continuing to work on that project, and it's been really tremendously exciting. It is truly everything that we have been looking to explore and learn and share with folks that conference put into play. First, the outcomes that we had for the conference itself, even without measuring the data, you could tell from what was going on in the room. The outcomes really were threefold. One, that people build relationships with each other at the event, and that they learn how to do so in their day-to-day work, that they could bring that back. Two, that they build on the strengths and the wisdom in the room during the event, and again, that they can bring that back into their communities and into their work when they go home. And three, that they build a shared vision, and that they learn how to build shared vision so that they can go back. And over again throughout the conference, just as we do in our board meetings when we pause for some reflection, what's standing out for you, the things that were standing out for them over and over again were those outcomes, primarily the building of relationships. And so we are looking now at the next phase to do some pretty decent evaluation, not just of was the conference great, which is terrific, because if we can find effective ways of doing educational conferences without having to throw the baby out with the bathwater, that would be nice. But the kinds of evaluation that says, okay, what is going on in communities now? How do we evaluate the outcomes of the conference, not just in the very, very short term, but in the near term and in the long term? So we're starting to have those conversations now. Very exciting. There is our fellows, Jim Bendel and Susan Aceto at the Community Foundation at Westmoreland County. They were the spark to this. You guys will remember we went to Pittsburgh and Western PA back in August. They were the spark for what became the conference as a first step, and we will be working intensively with them to look at what the effect of that event was, all the people that they sent to the event, what was the effect of that in their community, and working with Pano on some other collaborative ways to evaluate as well. So we're very excited about the outcomes, and like I said, that's even before we've really dug into the data. The other thing that we're working on with Pano is, I know, Mark Riffey, I can hear you in my head saying, is this what we would have other people do? And the answer is no, but sometimes you have to. We are working now on a memo of understanding. And yes, we should have had a memo of understanding 3 months ago. Due to circumstances, it didn't happen. And so while on one of my shoulders, I've got you, Mark, saying, is this what we would encourage others to do? The reality was that given the pace of the conference, it was not possible for us to say, no, we're not going to do anything else until we stop and have a memo of understanding. Because I've got you on my other shoulder, Mark, with your shall we say, don't be a dick comment, and that would have been a really not good thing to do, is to say, no, we're not going to work on this anymore until it gets done. So given that, Gail and I have been meeting with the executive director of PANO, Anne, and their board president, DeFoma, to hammer out a memo of understanding, and we're hoping that will be done by the end of June. So that we're looking at all of the mundane details, everything from intellectual property and expenses and revenues to how do we evaluate and support the project moving forward. So that is really what's been going on with PANO. On the one hand, phenomenal outcomes already, working to evaluate what the longer term outcomes are, and then working to finally have an agreement between the two organizations so that we've got clear understandings. The third thing that I just wanted to go over with you guys is that, yes, as of officially 2 days ago, I think, I am on sabbatical. I will be writing until after Labor Day. I will be at the July meeting and the August meeting. I just will be out of the state and hopefully away from a computer for a little while for the June meeting. I'm going to be working on several projects. Everybody around here is laughing at me that I'm probably going to try to do about 1.5 years worth of writing in 3 months, but that's life. I'm going to be at least getting a first draft of a book on the continuum of potential. And I am going to be writing 2 classes. One, I'm going to be writing a flash class on community impact planning. And then I am going to hopefully do a white paper on community impact planning as well. And lastly, doing a graduate level class for our fellows about the evolution of the immersion course. People who took the course in 2009 might not recognize the course as it's being taught now in 2014. So we want to bring everybody up to speed so that everybody's got the same grounding in the philosophies and the thought frameworks and the action frameworks. So, and then there's about 17 other writing projects that I'm going to be working on. The last thing I'm going to be working on during my sabbatical is getting funding partnerships moving forward so that we can come together as a board with hopefully other boards of funders who are interested in capacity building to co-create a plan together. And so that Creating the Future will finally have its community impact plan, its global impact plan. And so I'm going to be dedicating a lot of my time this summer to that as well, and a whole bunch of other things. So that is it for what's been going on around here. There's a bunch of other stuff as well, but that's really the 3 big ones: Candace, PANO, and my sabbatical. And I will just look forward to seeing you guys in July. Bye-bye.